Here's 13 trades that would change the NBA. Let's start with the Knicks landing a Miles Turner. The trade would send Miles Turner to the New York Knicks, while the Indiana Pacers would receive Mitchell Robinson, Precious, and 2 second-round picks. For the Knicks, acquiring Turner could be a game changer. Turner is a proven rim protector, averaging over 2 blocks per game throughout his career. His defensive prowess would bolster New York's interior defense, providing a formidable presence in the paint. Additionally, Turner's ability to stretch the floor with his three-point shooting, hitting around 41% from deep this season, adds a new dimension to the Knicks' offense, creating more space for perimeter players to operate. Another significant advantage for the Knicks is alleviating concerns over Mitchell Robinson's health issues. Robinson has faced multiple injuries throughout his career, including ankle and foot surgeries that have sidelined him for extended periods. His injury history has been a persistent concern for the team's long-term planning. By acquiring Turner, the Knicks would secure a more durable option at center, potentially leading to greater consistency in their lineup. However, it's important to note that Turner has had his share of injuries as well. While he has been relatively healthy this season, his past includes various ailments that have caused him to miss games. The Knicks would need to consider this aspect when evaluating the trade. On the flip side, the Pacers would gain Mitchell Robinson, a young center known for his shot, blocking, and rebounding abilities. Robinson's defensive skills are impressive. He has averaged nearly 2 blocks per game over his career and has been a dominant force on the offensive glass. His presence would enhance Indiana's interior defense and provide a strong rebounding presence. Precious Achiuwa adds further value to the Pacers' front court, is a versatile forward who brings energy and athleticism. His ability to play both power forward and center positions offers Indiana flexibility in their rotations. Achiuwa's defensive versatility and potential for growth make him an intriguing addition to the Pacers roster. An additional benefit for the Pacers is avoiding the complexities of negotiating a contract extension with Miles Turner. Turner is owed $19.9 million this season before becoming an unrestricted free agent. By trading him, Indiana sidesteps the risk of losing him for nothing in free agency and gains assets in return. The inclusion of 2 second-round picks provides the Pacers with opportunities to further build their roster through future drafts. However, the Pacers would need to consider Robinson's injury history. His past ankle and foot issues could pose a risk, and Indiana's medical staff would need to assess his long-term health prospects, and his fit within the Pacers system would need to be evaluated. This trade presents both teams with intriguing opportunities and considerations. The Knicks would acquire a skilled floor spacing center in Miles Turner, potentially enhancing their defensive and offensive capabilities. Meanwhile, the Pacers would receive a young, defensive-minded center in Mitchell Robinson, a versatile forward in Precious and future draft assets, all while avoiding the challenges of Turner's impending free agency. Both teams would need to weigh the benefits against the risks, particularly concerning the injury histories of the players involved, to determine if this trade aligns with their long-term strategies. But then we can talk about the biggest name in trade talks right now, Jimmy Butler. The trade would send Klay Thompson, PJ Washington, Daniel Gafford, Najee Marshall, and a first-round pick to the Miami Heat, while the Dallas Mavericks would receive Jimmy Butler, Kevin Love, and Alec Burks. For the Heat, bringing in Klay Thompson would be electrifying. Thompson, a 5-time All-Star and 4-time NBA champion, is renowned for his sharp shooting, boasting a career three-point percentage of approximately 41%. His perimeter scoring would significantly enhance Miami's offensive firepower, creating more space for slashers like Tyler Herro and Bam Adebayo to operate. By the way, if you guys enjoy these deep dives, I'll be posting every day during the season. I'd genuinely appreciate if you could subscribe. Thanks. Anyways, the trade, adding PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford, injects youthful energy and versatility into the Heat's front court. Washington's ability to stretch the floor with his shooting and defend multiple positions makes him a valuable asset. Gafford's rim protection and athleticism would bolster Miami's interior defense, providing a strong presence in the paint. Najee Marshall offers additional depth on the wing. Known for his defensive tenacity and hustle, Marshall could contribute valuable minutes off the bench, bringing intensity and effort on both ends of the floor. The inclusion of a first-round pick provides the Heat with a valuable asset for future roster building. This pick could be used to draft a promising young talent or as a trade chip in future deals, offering Miami flexibility in their long-term planning. Transitioning to a new core led by Tyler Herro and Bam Adebayo signifies a shift towards a younger, dynamic team. Herro, known for his scoring prowess, and Adebayo, an all-star center with versatile skills, would take on expanded leadership roles. This move could energize the franchise and its fan base, signaling a commitment to developing homegrown talent. On the other side, the Mavericks would acquire Jimmy Butler, a six-time All-Star celebrated for his two-way play and leadership. Butler's defensive prowess and ability to perform in clutch situations would complement Dallas's existing stars, Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. This trio could form a formidable offensive unit, with Butler's experience adding a championship pedigree to the roster. Kevin Love brings veteran experience and championship know-how to the Mavericks. His rebounding ability and three-point shooting would stretch the floor, creating more opportunities for Doncic and Irving to penetrate defenses. Love's presence in the locker room could also provide valuable mentorship to younger players. Alec Burks adds scoring punch off the bench. Known for his ability to create his own shot, Burks could lead the second unit, ensuring the Mavericks maintain offensive pressure even when the starters rest. This trade indicates Dallas's commitment to pursuing a championship by surrounding their star players with experienced, high-impact veterans. The Mavericks are clearly aiming to capitalize on the prime years of Doncic and Irving, assembling a roster capable of deep playoff runs. However, both teams would need to consider the financial implications of this trade. Butler and Love have substantial contracts, which could impact the Mavericks' salary cap flexibility in the future. Similarly, the Heat would need to manage the contracts of incoming players while planning for potential extensions for Harrow and Adebayo. This trade presents both teams with opportunities to reshape their rosters strategically. The Heat would acquire a mix of veteran talent and promising players, aligning with a youth movement led by Harrow and Adebayo. The Mavericks would add experienced stars to support their championship aspirations alongside Doncic and Irving. Both franchises would need to weigh the immediate benefits against long-term considerations, including financial flexibility and player development, to determine if this trade aligns with their organizational goals. But then I want to look at this deal between the Blazers and the Magic. The trade would send Anthony Simons to the Orlando Magic, while the Portland Trail Blazers would receive Cole Anthony, Gary Harris, Jet Howard, and 2 second-round picks. For the Magic, acquiring Anthony Simons would be a thrilling move. Simons has demonstrated significant growth over his career, with his scoring average climbing from 7.8 points per game in the 2019-2020 season to an impressive 22.6 points per game in the 2022-2023 season. His ability to create his own shot and his proficiency from beyond the arc, boasting a career three-point shooting percentage of approximately 38.3%. would provide the Magic with a dynamic offensive weapon. Integrating Simons into a lineup featuring Jalen Suggs, Paolo Banchero, and Franz Wagner could elevate the Magic's offensive capabilities to new heights. Simons' scoring prowess would draw defensive attention, creating more opportunities for his teammates to thrive. This infusion of talent could position the Magic as serious contenders for a playoff run this season, energizing the fan base and bringing excitement to the Amway Center. On the flip side, the Trailblazers would receive a package of young talent and valuable draft assets. Cole Anthony, a dynamic point guard, has shown his ability to lead an offense and score efficiently. In the 2023 season, he averaged 13 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists per game, demonstrating his versatility on the court. Gary Harris, a seasoned shooting guard, brings veteran experience and perimeter defense, along with a career three-point shooting percentage of 36%, adding a reliable shooting option to the Blazers roster. Jet Howard, a recent lottery pick, offers promising potential with his size and shooting ability. Standing at 6'8", Howard's versatility allows him to play multiple positions on the wing, and his collegiate performance showcased his knack for scoring and defensive capabilities. Adding 2 second-round picks provides the Blazers with additional opportunities to scout and develop young talent, aligning with a rebuilding strategy focused on long-term success. This trade would signify a strategic shift for both franchises. The Magic, by acquiring a proven scorer in Simons, signal their intent to compete at a higher level immediately, aiming to capitalize on the development of their young core. Simons' addition could alleviate some of the offensive burdens on Banchero and Wagner, allowing for a more balanced and potent attack. For the Trailblazers, moving Simons opens up up opportunities for emerging talents like Scoot Henderson and Shaedon Sharpe to take on more prominent roles. The influx of young players like Anthony and Howard, combined with future draft picks, provides Portland with a flexible foundation to build upon, fostering a competitive environment aimed at growth and development. Financially, this trade could offer benefits as well. Simons is under contract through the 2027 season, providing the Magic with cost certainty for a key player during his prime years. The Blazers, by acquiring players on varying contract timelines, may gain salary cap flexibility, allowing for strategic signings or extensions that align with their rebuilding timeline. This trade presents a win-win scenario for both teams. The Magic acquire a dynamic scorer in Anthony Simons, poised to make an immediate impact and propel the team toward a playoff berth. The Trailblazers receive a blend of young talent and draft assets, positioning them to rebuild strategically and develop a competitive roster for the future. Both organizations would need to carefully consider the fit and long-term implications, but the potential benefits make this trade an exciting proposition for fans and players alike. But then how about this one? The trade would send LaMelo Ball and Grant Williams to the San Antonio Spurs, while the Charlotte Hornets would receive Keldon Johnson, Chris Paul, Trey Jones, Jeremy Sohan, 3 first-round picks, and 1 second-round pick. For the Spurs, acquiring LaMelo Ball is a bold move. Ball, a dynamic point guard, has averaged 21 points, 7 assists, and 6 rebounds per game over his career. His playmaking abilities and court vision would complement Victor Wembanyama, creating an exciting duo poised to elevate San Antonio's offense. Adding Grant Williams, known for his defensive versatility and three-point shooting, further strengthens the Spurs' front court, providing valuable spacing and toughness. This trade signals the Spurs' commitment to building a competitive roster around Wembanyama. By pairing him with a talented facilitator like Ball, San Antonio aims to accelerate their return to playoff contention, energizing their fan base and bringing a new era of excitement to the AT&T Center. On the other hand, the Hornets would receive a substantial package of players and draft assets. Keldon Johnson, a promising forward, has averaged 16 points and 5 rebounds per game over his career. His scoring ability and defensive potential make him a valuable addition to Charlotte's lineup. Chris Paul, though in the later stages of his career, brings veteran leadership and a wealth of experience, which could be instrumental in mentoring younger players and stabilizing the team's backcourt. Trey Jones offers additional depth at the point guard position. Known for his defensive tenacity and playmaking skills, Jones could provide valuable minutes and contribute to the team's overall guard rotation. Jeremy Sohan, a versatile forward, adds youth and potential to the Hornets' front court, bringing energy and a defensive mindset. The inclusion of 3 first-round picks and 1 second-round pick provides the Hornets with significant assets for future roster building. These picks offer flexibility, whether used to draft emerging talent or as leverage in potential trades, aligning with Charlotte's strategy to rebuild around Brandon Miller. Transitioning the team's focus to Miller indicates a shift towards developing a new franchise cornerstone. Miller's potential as a scorer and leader would be at the forefront of the Hornets' rebuilding efforts, with the acquired players and future draft picks serving to complement and support his growth. Financially, this trade involves managing various contracts. LaMelo Ball is under a substantial contract extension, which the Spurs would take on, reflecting their investment in his talent and fit with Wembanyama. The Hornets, by acquiring players with varying contract lengths, may gain salary cap flexibility, allowing for strategic signings or extensions that align with their rebuilding timeline. This trade presents a transformative opportunity for both franchises. The Spurs would acquire a dynamic playmaker in LaMelo Ball, poised to form an exciting partnership with Victor Wembanyama, signaling their intent to compete at a higher level. The Hornets would receive a blend of young talent, veteran leadership, and valuable draft assets, positioning them to rebuild strategically around Brandon Miller. Both organizations would need to carefully consider the fit and long-term implications, but the potential benefits make this trade an intriguing proposition for fans and players alike. But let's check this one out. The trade would send Walker Kessler to the Los Angeles Lakers, while the Utah Jazz would receive Jalen Hood-Schifino and 3 second-round picks. For the Lakers, acquiring Walker Kessler is an exciting move. Kessler, a 7-foot center, has demonstrated impressive defensive skills, averaging 2.4 blocks per game over his career. His presence in the paint would significantly bolster Los Angeles' interior defense, deterring opponents from driving to the basket. Additionally, Kessler's rebounding prowess, with an average of 8.3 rebounds per game, would provide the Lakers with more opportunities for second-chance points, and help control the tempo of the game. Integrating Kessler into a lineup featuring LeBron James and Anthony Davis could elevate the Lakers' defensive capabilities to new heights. Kessler's shot blocking and rim protecting abilities would allow Davis to operate more freely on both ends of the court, knowing there's a reliable anchor behind him. This move signals the Lakers' commitment to strengthening their defense as they aim for another championship run. On the other hand, the Jazz would receive Jalen Hood-Schifino, a promising young guard, along with 3 second-round picks. Hood-Schifino, standing at 6'6", has shown potential as a versatile playmaker and defender. During his collegiate career at Indiana, he averaged 13.5 points, 4.1 rebounds, and 3.7 assists per game, showcasing his ability to contribute across multiple facets of the game. The inclusion of 3 second-round picks provides the Jazz with valuable assets for future roster building. These picks offer flexibility, whether used to draft emerging talent or as leverage in potential trades, aligning with Utah's strategy to build a competitive team for the future. Financially, this trade could benefit both teams. The Lakers would acquire Kessler, who is on a rookie-scale contract, providing them with a cost-effective option to enhance their roster without compromising salary cap flexibility. The Jazz, by obtaining Hood-Schifino and additional draft picks, can focus on developing young talent and maintaining financial flexibility for future signings or extensions. This trade presents a strategic opportunity for both franchises. The Lakers would bolster their interior defense by adding a formidable shot blocker in Walker Kessler, enhancing their championship aspirations. The Jazz would acquire a promising guard in Jalen Hood-Schifino and valuable draft assets, positioning them to build a competitive roster for the future. Both organizations would need to carefully consider the fit and long-term implications, but the potential benefits make this trade an intriguing proposition for fans and players alike. But how about this one? This would be huge. The trade would send Fox and Kevin Huerter to the Houston Rockets, while the Sacramento Kings would receive Fred VanVleet, Jock Landale, Cam Whitmore, and 2 first-round picks. For the Rockets, acquiring Fox is an electrifying move. Fox, a dynamic point guard, has averaged 24.3 points, 7.3 assists, and 4.7 rebounds per game over his recent stretch. His explosive speed and playmaking abilities would inject new energy into Houston's backcourt, complementing their fast-paced style of play. Adding Kevin Huerter, known for his sharpshooting and versatility, further bolsters the Rockets' perimeter offense, providing valuable spacing and scoring punch. This trade signals Houston's commitment to building a formidable roster capable of making a deep playoff run. By pairing Fox with emerging talents like Jalen Green and Alperen Şengün, the Rockets aim to create a dynamic and youthful core that can compete at the highest level. Huerter's ability to stretch the floor with his three-point shooting would open up driving lanes for Fox and Green, enhancing the team's offensive versatility. On the other hand, the Kings would receive a substantial package of players and draft assets. Fred VanVleet, a seasoned point guard, has averaged 17.4 points and 8.1 assists per game this season. His championship experience and leadership would be invaluable in guiding Sacramento's young roster. Jock Landale adds depth to the front court with his rebounding and interior presence, while Cam Whitmore, a promising rookie, brings athleticism and potential to the wing position. The inclusion of 2 first-round picks provides the Kings with significant assets for future roster building. These picks offer flexibility, whether used to draft emerging talent or as leverage in potential trades, aligning with Sacramento's strategy to build a competitive team for the future. Financially, this trade involves managing various contracts. Fox is under a substantial contract, which the Rockets would take on, reflecting their investment in his talent and fit with their young core. The Kings, by acquiring players with varying contract lengths, may gain salary cap flexibility, allowing for strategic signings or extensions that align with their rebuilding timeline. This trade presents a transformative opportunity for both franchises. The Rockets would acquire a dynamic playmaker in Fox, poised to form an exciting backcourt partnership with Jalen Green, signaling their intent to compete at a higher level. The Kings would receive a blend of veteran leadership, young talent, and valuable draft assets, positioning them to rebuild strategically. Both organizations would need to carefully consider the fit and long-term implications, but the potential benefits make this trade an intriguing proposition for fans and players alike. But then let's check out a more realistic trade. The trade would send Saddiq Bey and Anthony Gill to the Boston Celtics, while the Washington Wizards would receive Jaden Springer, Baylor Shireman, and 2 second-round picks. For the Celtics, acquiring Saddiq Bey is an exciting move. Bey, A versatile forward has averaged 14.1 points and 5.2 rebounds per game over his career. His ability to stretch the floor with his three-point shooting and defend multiple positions would provide Boston with additional offensive firepower and defensive flexibility. Adding Anthony Gill, known for his hustle and efficient scoring, further bolsters the Celtics' front court depth, offering valuable minutes off the bench. This trade signals Boston's commitment to strengthening their roster for a deep playoff run. By integrating Bay's scoring and defensive versatility, the Celtics aim to enhance their wing rotation, complementing stars like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Gill's presence adds a reliable option in the front court, contributing to the team's overall depth and resilience. On the other hand, the Wizards would receive Jaden Springer, a promising young guard, along with Baylor Shireman and 2 second-round picks. Springer, standing at 6'4", has shown potential as a defensive specialist with developing offensive skills. During his limited NBA appearances, he has demonstrated strong defensive instincts and the ability to contribute as a secondary ball handler. Shireman, a sharpshooting wing, brings a high basketball IQ and playmaking ability, making him a valuable addition to Washington's developing roster. The inclusion of 2 second-round picks provides the Wizards with additional assets for future roster building. These picks offer flexibility, whether used to draft emerging talent or as leverage in potential trades, aligning with Washington's strategy to build a competitive team for the future. Financially, this trade involves managing various contracts. Bay is on a team-friendly deal, which the Celtics would take on, reflecting their investment in his talent and fit within their system. The Wizards, by acquiring players on rookie-scale contracts, may gain salary cap flexibility, allowing for strategic signings or extensions that align with their rebuilding timeline. This trade presents a strategic opportunity for both franchises. The Celtics would acquire a versatile scorer and defender in Saddiq Bey, enhancing their wing depth and signaling their intent to compete at the highest level. The Wizards would receive a blend of young talent and valuable draft assets, positioning them to rebuild strategically. Both organizations would need to carefully consider the fit and long-term implications, but the potential benefits make this trade an intriguing proposition for fans and players alike. But that's a boring trade. Let's do another crazy one. The trade would send Joel Embiid to the Oklahoma City Thunder, while the Philadelphia Sixers would receive Isaiah Hartenstein, Kenrich Williams, Ousmane Dieng, Jalen Williams, and 5 first-round picks. For the Thunder, acquiring Joel Embiid is a monumental move. Embiid, the former MVP, has been a dominant force in the league, averaging 33.1 points, 10.2 rebounds, and 4.2 assists per game. His presence in the paint would significantly bolster Oklahoma City's interior defense and scoring capabilities. Pairing Embiid with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who averaged 31.4 points per game in the same season, creates a formidable duo that could propel the Thunder into serious championship contention. This trade signals Oklahoma City's commitment to accelerating their rebuild and competing at the highest level. By adding a superstar like Embiid, the Thunder aim to maximize their young core's potential and make a deep postseason run. Embiid's defensive prowess and scoring versatility would provide the Thunder with a dominant presence on both ends of the floor, elevating the team's overall performance. On the other hand, the Sixers would receive a substantial package of players and draft assets. Isaiah Hartenstein, a skilled center, has demonstrated solid rim protection and passing abilities. Kenrich Williams, known for his versatility and defensive acumen, contributes valuable minutes off the bench, averaging 8.0 points and 4.9 rebounds per game in the same season. Ousmane Dieng and Jalen Williams are promising young talents with significant upside, offering the Sixers developmental prospects for the future. The inclusion of 5 first-round picks provides Philadelphia with a treasure trove of assets for future roster building. These picks offer flexibility, whether used to draft emerging talent or as leverage in potential trades, aligning with the Sixers' strategy to rebuild and retool their roster. This approach allows Philadelphia to maintain competitiveness while planning for sustained success in the coming years. Financially, this trade involves managing various contracts. Embiid is under a substantial long-term contract, which the Thunder would assume, reflecting their investment in his elite talent and fit within their system. The Sixers, by acquiring players with more manageable contracts and multiple draft picks, may gain salary cap flexibility, allowing for strategic signings or extensions that align with their rebuilding timeline. This trade presents a transformative opportunity for both franchises. The Thunder would acquire a generational talent in Joel Embiid, signaling their intent to compete immediately and make a significant impact in the Western Conference. The Sixers would receive a blend of solid role players, promising prospects, and valuable draft capital, positioning them to rebuild strategically and maintain long-term competitiveness. Both organizations would need to carefully consider the fit and long-term implications, but the potential benefits make this trade an intriguing proposition for fans and players alike. All right, what about this one though? The Minnesota Timberwolves would acquire Cam Johnson, Dorian Finney-Smith, Shake Milton, and a first-round pick. In return, the Brooklyn Nets would receive Julius Randle, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Luka Garza, and a first-round pick. For the Timberwolves, bringing in Cam Johnson adds a sharpshooter to their roster. Johnson has been averaging 19.1 points per game on 48.8% shooting, including 42.2% from beyond the arc. His ability to stretch the floor would create more space for Anthony Edwards to operate, enhancing Minnesota's offensive dynamics. Dorian Finney-Smith offers defensive versatility and experience. Known for guarding multiple positions, he would bolster the Timberwolves' perimeter defense, a crucial aspect in today's NBA. His presence could alleviate defensive pressures on Edwards, allowing him to focus more on scoring. Shake Milton provides depth at the guard position. With his capability to play both point and shooting guard, Milton's versatility would be valuable for Minnesota's backcourt rotation. His scoring and playmaking abilities off the bench could energize the second unit. Acquiring an additional first-round pick offers Minnesota future flexibility. Whether they choose to draft emerging talent or use the pick as a trade asset, it provides options for roster development. On the flip side, the Brooklyn Nets would receive Julius Randle, a proven scorer and rebounder. Randle's presence in the frontcourt would address Brooklyn's need for interior scoring and physicality. His ability to create his own shot and facilitate could diversify the Nets' offensive schemes. Nickeil Alexander-Walker brings youth and potential to Brooklyn's backcourt. His defensive capabilities and developing offensive game make him a promising addition. Given the Nets' current rebuilding phase, Alexander-Walker could be a piece they develop for the future. Luka Garza adds depth at the center position. Known for his scoring touch around the rim and rebounding, Garza could provide valuable minutes off the bench. His work ethic and basketball IQ are assets that align with Brooklyn's developmental goals. The inclusion of a first-round pick further aids the Nets' rebuilding efforts. It grants them the opportunity to acquire young talent or package the pick in future trades to accelerate their progress. Financially, this trade involves significant contracts. Julius Randle is under a substantial deal, which the Nets would assume, indicating their commitment to adding an established star. The Timberwolves, by acquiring players with varying contract lengths, might gain some salary cap flexibility, allowing for strategic signings or extensions that fit their competitive timeline. This trade presents intriguing possibilities for both teams. The Timberwolves would enhance their roster with shooting, defense, and depth, potentially elevating their status in the Western Conference. The Nets would acquire a mix of established talent and promising prospects, aligning with their rebuilding strategy. Both organizations would need to assess the fit and long-term implications, but the potential benefits make this scenario an exciting proposition for fans and players alike. But then we can look at this one. The Phoenix Suns would trade Bradley Beal to the Utah Jazz in exchange for John Collins, Jordan Clarkson, 1 first-round pick, and 3 second-round picks. Starting with the Suns, acquiring John Collins and Jordan Clarkson could be a game changer. Collins, a versatile power forward, averaged 15.1 points and 8.5 rebounds per game in the 2023 to 2024 season. His athleticism and ability to stretch the floor would provide Phoenix with a dynamic frontcourt presence alongside KD. Clarkson, known for his scoring prowess off the bench, brings instant offense. He averaged 17 points per game last season, showcasing his knack for putting up points in a hurry. Adding these two could bolster the Suns' depth and scoring options, making them a more formidable contender in the Western Conference. Financially, this move would offer the Suns some relief. Bradley Beal's contract is substantial, with a 5-year, $251 million deal signed in 2022. Offloading this contract would provide Phoenix with greater flexibility to build around their core players and potentially pursue additional talent in free agency or through future trades. On the flip side, the Utah Jazz would be making a bold statement by acquiring Bradley Beal. Beal, a 3-time All-Star, is one of the league's premier shooting guards. In the 2022 to 2023 season, he averaged 23.2 points, 3.9 rebounds, and 5.4 assists per game, highlighting his scoring ability and playmaking skills. Pairing Beal with their existing talent could elevate the Jazz into serious playoff contention, providing them with a go-to scorer in crucial moments. However, Beal's contract is hefty, with significant financial commitments over the next few years. The Jazz would need to be confident in their ability to integrate Beal seamlessly into their system and ensure that his presence elevates the team's performance to justify the investment. The draft picks involved add another layer to this trade. The Suns acquiring 1 first-round and 3 second-round picks would equip them with valuable assets for future roster moves. These picks could be used to draft young talent or packaged in deals to acquire established players, offering Phoenix flexibility in shaping their team's future. For the Jazz, parting with these picks indicates a win-now mentality. By trading away future assets, they're signaling confidence that adding a star like Beal positions them for immediate success. It's a calculated risk, betting on current performance over future potential. This trade presents intriguing possibilities for both teams. The Suns would gain depth, versatility, and financial flexibility, potentially enhancing their competitiveness in a tough Western Conference. The Jazz would acquire a proven star in Bradley Beal, aiming to make a deep playoff run. Both teams would need to weigh the immediate benefits against long-term implications, but the excitement and energy such a trade could generate among fans and players alike make it a captivating scenario to consider. But then let's look at this. The Memphis Grizzlies would trade Marcus Smart, John Konchar, and a first-round pick to the Washington Wizards in exchange for Kyle Kuzma. Starting with the Grizzlies, adding Kyle Kuzma could be a game changer. Kuzma, a versatile forward, has consistently shown his scoring and rebounding abilities throughout his career. During the 2022 to 2023 season, he averaged 21.2 points and 7.2 rebounds per game. His ability to score at all levels and contribute on the boards makes him a valuable addition. Kuzma can stretch the floor with his perimeter shooting and create offensive mismatch, making him a critical piece for the Grizzlies' playoff ambition. Financially, Kuzma's contract fits well within the Grizzlies' salary cap structure, allowing the team to strengthen its roster without compromising financial flexibility. Beyond his on-court impact, Kuzma brings championship experience, having won an NBA title with the Los Angeles Lakers in 2020. For a young and ambitious team like Memphis, having a player with playoff experience could provide the leadership and composure needed in high-pressure situations. His presence would complement their existing core while providing an offensive boost to compete in the stacked Western Conference. Now, let's look at what this trade offers the Wizards. Washington would receive a significant package, starting with Marcus Smart. Known for his gritty defense and leadership, Smart would bring a much-needed defensive intensity to the Wizards. In the 2022 to 2023 season, he averaged 11.5 points, 6.3 assists, and 1.5 steals per game. His ability to facilitate, defend multiple positions, and bring energy to the court makes him a perfect fit for a rebuilding team looking for stability and leadership. Smart's experience as a former Defensive Player of the Year adds a level of credibility and toughness that Washington would benefit from immediately. John Konchar provides additional depth to Washington's roster. His hustle, versatility, and three-point shooting make him an asset off the bench. During the 2022 to 2023 season, Konchar shot 38.5% from beyond the arc, proving his ability to space the floor. He's the kind of role player who can complement both young and experienced players, contributing effectively without demanding the ball. His effort on defense and ability to move without the ball make him a solid addition to any lineup. The inclusion of a first-round pick is a significant asset for the Wizards. Having an additional pick allows them to plan for the future by drafting emerging talent or using it in a trade to acquire more experienced players. This flexibility aligns perfectly with Washington's strategy of rebuilding and creating a competitive team around their younger core. Draft capital is a vital component in today's NBA, and having another pick enhances the Wizards' ability to reshape their roster effectively. Financially, this trade benefits Washington by moving Kuzma's contract and replacing it with more manageable deals. This shift creates additional salary cap flexibility, giving them room to make future moves in free agency or through trades. It's a practical step that positions the Wizards for sustained growth and development over the next few seasons. This trade presents exciting possibilities for both franchises. For the Grizzlies, acquiring Kyle Kuzma would address their need for a versatile scorer and rebounder while adding playoff experience to their young roster. This move positions Memphis to make a stronger push in the Western Conference, improving their depth and overall competitiveness. On the other side, the Wizards would gain a defensive-minded leader in Marcus Smart, a reliable shooter in John Konchar, and a valuable first-round pick to shape their future. These assets align with their long-term goals, offering both immediate impact and flexibility for the seasons ahead. Both teams would need to carefully evaluate the long-term implications of this trade, but the potential benefits make it a fascinating scenario to consider. Fans from both sides would have plenty to be excited about, as this move could set the stage for success in the near future, while sparking new energy for their franchises. I want to talk about another crazy one though. The Los Angeles Lakers would trade Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, Gabe Vincent, and Jard Vanderbilt to the Los Angeles Clippers in exchange for Kawhi Leonard. Starting with the Lakers, acquiring Kawhi Leonard could be a monumental move. Leonard, a two-time NBA champion and Finals MVP, has been a dominant force on both ends of the court. Over his career, he has averaged 20 points, 6.4 rebounds, and 3 assists per game. His defensive prowess and scoring ability would provide the Lakers with a formidable duo alongside LeBron James, potentially elevating them to championship contenders. Leonard's ability to guard multiple positions and take on tough defensive assignments could give the Lakers an edge in high-stakes games. Financially, Leonard's contract is significant, but the Lakers have consistently demonstrated their willingness to invest in star talent to chase championships. Integrating Leonard into their system would require some adjustments, but his versatility and experience make him a seamless fit. His presence would bring a defensive edge, complementing the Lakers' core while also offering a reliable scoring option in key moments. With Leonard, the Lakers could solidify themselves as one of the top contenders in the Western Conference. On the flip side, the Clippers would receive a package of promising players that adds depth and versatility to their roster. Austin Reeves, known for his shooting and playmaking, has been a rising star. During the 2023 to 2024 season, he averaged 13 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists per game, demonstrating his ability to impact games on both ends. Reeves' skill set would provide the Clippers with a reliable scoring option and a capable secondary playmaker, making him a valuable asset for their future. Rui Hachimura brings versatility in scoring from the forward position. He averaged 12 points and 5 rebounds per game in the same season, showcasing his ability to contribute offensively and defensively. Hachimura's mid-range game and physical presence in the paint would be a welcome addition to the Clippers' rotation, giving them more options in their front court. His potential to guard larger players and stretch the floor adds another layer to the Clippers' roster. Gabe Vincent offers depth and shooting from the point guard position. In the 2023 to 2024 season, he averaged 9 points and 2.5 assists per game while shooting 37% from beyond the arc. His ability to run the offense and provide consistent perimeter shooting would enhance the Clippers' backcourt. Vincent's experience and calm demeanor could also help stabilize the team in high-pressure situations. Jard Vanderbilt brings energy, defensive versatility, and hustle to the Clippers. Known for his ability to guard multiple positions, Vanderbilt's rebounding and effort on the defensive end would strengthen the team's identity. His willingness to do the dirty work and make impactful plays without needing the ball is invaluable for any roster. This trade would signal the Clippers' intent to build a well-rounded team with depth and potential for growth. While the departure of Leonard would be a significant loss, the incoming talent could collectively fill the void and offer a new direction for the franchise. The combination of Reeves, Hachimura, Vincent, and Vanderbilt provides the Clippers with a mix of youth and experience, ensuring flexibility in rotations and the opportunity to develop a cohesive unit. Financially, the Clippers would gain salary cap flexibility by moving Leonard's contract. This flexibility could be utilized in future free agency to acquire additional star talent or strengthen other areas of the roster. The combination of young talent and financial maneuverability positions the Clippers to strategically plan for both immediate competitiveness and long-term success. This trade presents exciting possibilities for both Los Angeles teams. The Lakers would acquire a superstar in Kawhi Leonard, aiming to bolster their championship aspirations and solidify themselves as a powerhouse in the Western Conference. The Clippers would receive a blend of young talent, defensive versatility, and financial flexibility, allowing them to retool and build a competitive roster that can adapt to future challenges. Both organizations would need to carefully evaluate the long-term implications, but the potential benefits make this trade an intriguing proposition. Fans of both teams would have plenty to be excited about, as this move could reshape the competitive landscape and energize both franchises heading into the next NBA season. And then I want to do one more trade. The Portland Trail Blazers would trade Robert Williams III and Grant to the New Orleans Pelicans in exchange for Zion Williamson, Jeremiah Robinson Earl, and a first-round pick. Starting with the Trail Blazers, acquiring Zion Williamson could be an absolute game changer. Williamson, despite his history of injuries, is a dynamic forward with explosive athleticism and a rare scoring ability. During the 2022 to 2023 season, he averaged 22.7 points, 8 rebounds, and 5.3 assists per game, showcasing his versatility and impact on both ends of the court. Adding Williamson to the Blazers roster would provide them with a potential superstar to build their team around, energizing the fan base and giving the franchise a high ceiling for future success. Financially, Williamson's contract is substantial, reflecting his status as a former #1 overall pick and an all-star. The Blazers would need to carefully assess the risks associated with his injury history, as he has missed significant time due to various ailments, including a hamstring strain that sidelined him since early November. However, if Williamson manages to stay healthy, the return on investment could be enormous. His ability to dominate the game when fit could make him the centerpiece of a more competitive and dynamic Blazers team in the tough Western Conference. Now, let's shift to the Pelicans. They would receive a strong package in return for Williamson. Robert Williams III is one of the league's most effective rim protectors. Known for his defensive prowess and rebounding skills, he has been a key contributor since his time with the Boston Celtics. His ability to anchor the defense would provide the Pelicans with much-needed interior toughness, making them a tougher team to score against in the paint. Williams' reputation as a shot blocker and reliable rebounder enhances his value, and his addition to the Pelicans could address a critical area of need for the team. Grant, on the other hand, brings versatility and scoring to the forward position. During the 2023 to 2024 season, Grant averaged 21 points, 3.5 rebounds, and 2.8 assists per game, proving he can be a dependable scorer and a solid defender. His ability to stretch the floor and create his own shot would complement the Pelicans' existing roster, giving them another offensive weapon to balance their lineup. Grant's experience in both high-pressure games and rebuilding situations makes him a valuable piece for a team looking to establish a solid foundation. The inclusion of a first-round pick provides the Pelicans with additional flexibility for the future. This asset allows them to either select a promising young player in the draft or package the pick in a future trade to acquire another impact player. The pick aligns with New Orleans' strategy to maintain a competitive edge while continuing to develop a team that can contend in the years to come. Financially, this trade could be a smart move for the Pelicans. By moving Williamson's substantial contract and acquiring players with more manageable deals, they gain greater flexibility in managing their salary cap. This newfound financial freedom could allow New Orleans to make further adjustments in free agency or pursue trades that align with their long-term vision. The combination of financial flexibility, roster depth, and future assets sets the Pelicans up for sustained success. This trade presents intriguing opportunities for both franchises. The Trail Blazers would secure a potential superstar in Zion Williamson, a player capable of transforming their roster and bringing new energy to the organization. Meanwhile, the Pelicans would gain a mix of defensive strength, offensive versatility, and a valuable draft asset, enabling them to strategically rebuild their team while remaining competitive. Both teams would need to weigh the risks and benefits carefully, but the potential rewards make this trade an exciting possibility. Fans of both teams would have plenty to look forward to, whether it's the promise of a rejuvenated Blazers team led by Williamson or a retooled Pelicans roster built for sustained success. Overall though, I'm not sure if any of these trades will happen, but it would definitely be cool. If you guys enjoyed this, I'll be posting every day during this season. I genuinely appreciate if you could subscribe. Thanks for watching.